Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics' Sonic the Hedgehog. We are joined today once again by another special guest, Mike F. Thank you so much for coming.
Permanent guest host. Permanent thing that happened.
He's the finger.
Keep on writing in.
I'm in.
Right.
If you can beat Mike F., then you will claim this throne.
Beat me, like in a fight?
No.
Yeah.
King of the Hill style.
I think you meant if you can beat him in terms of emails.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, sure.
Sure. But I like the idea of, like, you find him.
Fight me. But if you want it so bad, you gotta fight me.
Permanent guest host.
That's right. I'm here forever.
Yep. He'll always be here. And I can't wait for the next episode that he's here.
That's right.
Always be podcasting. ABP. What are we reading today, Dominic?
Sonic the Hedgehog number 13. Release date, June of 1994. Publication date, August of 1994. This Island Hedgehog, Part 1. Script by Mike Antonovich and Ken Penders. Penciled by Dave Manock. Dedicated to our inspiration, Jack King Kirby. The title of this comic is obviously a reference to the hit 1955 American sci-fi film This Island Earth, a movie that every film buff knows. The plot is simple, and one that I can actually believe. An alien that has mastered the power of spaceflight has come to America to ask for help in their war. A species that has not even gone to outer space yet, and a country that is objectively losing the space race at this point. I can only assume that our solo victory against the Nazis have spread far and wide across the stars. That's our solo victory.
Yeah. It was just America, baby.
Just us. Yeah. More importantly than this movie and this comic that we are all about to read, I would like to take a quick digression. This Island Earth has a movie star I want to sit down and watch the filmography of. Orangey, the orange cat. Orangey the cat is the only feline double winner of the Patsy Award, the Animal Kingdom's equivalent of the Oscars, sourced IMDb. Born in 1950, his first breakout role was Rhubarb, a 1951 film where Orangey plays Rhubarb the cat, the owner of a Brooklyn baseball team. This movie was also Leonard Nimoy's second movie, coming out 1 month after his first, meaning that if the editors got their shit together and released the film 30 days earlier, Leonard Nimoy's first movie could have been about a cat owning a baseball team. He had a 4-episode stint on Our Miss Brooks, 1952, which is a 130-episode show about Miss Brooks, a woman caught in a love triangle between the husky biology teacher with the urge to merge and a newspaper magnate who also has an engagement ring in his voice, according to the spicy trailer I watched on IMDb. While I won't bore you with the long and illustrious career of Orangey, I will call out some highlights. The Incredible Shrinking Man. Alfred Hitchcock presents The Diary of Anne Frank. That's a new one. It's not Alfred
Hitchcock presents The Diary.
I also thought that. I'm glad you specified because I did think that. And I was like, I don't like
What's the
of
surprise
all the
twist at
Hitchcock
the end?
classics. Somehow that was not ever presented to me.
And Frank was in the attic the whole time.
And I think they found us in this attic. And then that shot,
the Hitchcock. Yeah.
The Twilight Zone, Mr. Ed, The Dick Van Dyke Show, The Outer Limits, I Dream of Jeannie, Mission Impossible TV series, Batman TV series, The Beverly Hillbillies, and most importantly, the Disney smash hit Darby O'Gill and the Little People, starring the star of the mega hit movie The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Sean Connery. We open on what will become a classic. Tails flying a biplane. Who cares about a plane's sexual orientation? As long as it gets me where I'm going, that plane can love whoever it wants. You really like that one?
That's good.
Yeah, that's just good writing.
That was good.
with Sonic standing on the wings of the plane. Off in the distance, Tails and Sonic spot a peculiar sight, an island floating in the sky. While no one knows why the island is floating, Sonic theorizes that a Chaos Emerald keeps the island floating. They decide to go check out the mysterious island. We cut to the POV of someone on this floating island, red arm raised, white knuckle glove, shaking their fist at the sky. They are mumbling about unwanted guests, and that it's time to roll out the unwelcome mat.
Oh, that's the voice you chose, huh?
It's just deep. It's a deep voice.
Yeah, no, that was great. I loved it.
That was a deep voice.
You got to just remember, you're going to have to keep on doing that voice.
We can change it. We can change it over time by committee if we.
Do you think the whole race has that
by
type
committee?
Of a voice?
Us to
Yeah.
rule you out. You're committed to it.
I can play with it. We cut to Tails and Sonic flying the plane when a missile with an unwelcome mat appears suddenly, destroying their plane. Sonic starts falling, and Tails quickly grabs Sonic and flies him to safety on the island. Sonic and Tails assume the attack was from Robotnik as they crash land on the island. They start formulating a plan, which I will quote here. Tails: "So what do we do now, Sonic?" Sonic: "Find out if the natives are restless. I guess. Maybe they can point us to the nearest travel agent and book passage on the next flight to Knothole Forest." We cut to the POV of view.
Oh,
Yeah.
We cut to the POV of view of this mysterious man again. Red arm outstretched, with his knuckled fist out in a thumbs down position.
I love this image. So just no.
Gladiator style.
Unwelcome.
Not oh no, just no.
Very good.
Do you know that?
Yeah, of course I do.
You know that meme?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what is it in terms of a meme?
Oh, it's a mini meme online in the Sonic community at least.
Okay, it is referencing the fight in Sonic Adventure,
So,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Correct. And
I
one of
wasn't
the,
sure if this was like a separate thing because me and my brother used to quote "Odo" a lot.
You're not the only ones. A lot of people. So, not to spoil your memory, but yes, a lot of people latched onto that.
Yeah, well, my memory's spoiled now.
That's just what Knuckles says when he gets hit by Robotnik.
Yes, correct. And there's a mod where it's like every piece of dialogue is just replaced with "oh no" from Knuckles.
That's good.
It's a really good mod.
So is it like when his feet does a little pattern?
no,
and he goes,
no,
no.
Oh, I was thinking just I think it was just dialogue, but yeah, every sound effect.
That would be good.
Every punch, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
It's like the Half-Life mod where
I was thinking that too. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
every sound effect is a dude's like trying to recreate the voice with their mouth.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's just
That's good.
Yeah, okay. The mysterious red-knuckled man says, "Neither of you are going anywhere except down and out."
Wait, does it say red knuckled or did you fix that?
It says red-knuckled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
A red, knuckled man, I guess is what it should have been, because it's white knuckles. Anyway, just then, a wall of fire comes at Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Tails dodge at the last second. It appears an assaulting batter blimp has appeared. A spherical hovercraft that shoots a flamethrower and drops bombs everywhere, igniting the forest around Tails and Sonic. Sonic gets hit by a fire blast, but is protected by an energy shield? They jump in a river that was nearby to escape total destruction from the batter blimp. Sonic and Tails are now underwater, holding their breath. Undercurrents are dragging Tails and Sonic through the world level of the floating island. Sonic and Tails can't swim against the current. Their eyes get heavy. The panels on the comic get darker. We open on Sonic and Tails captured, feet and hands tied up with rope. Surrounded by darkness, the only thing they can see is a single spotlight shining on the floor. Sonic and Tails ask the $64,000 question. "Where are we?" A mysterious voice responds, "Exactly where I want you to be." Sonic and Tails are taken aback. Expecting the voice of their arch nemesis, they are in shock when the voice appears to be someone else. This mysterious creature walks into frame, Sonic-like in nature. Red. His nose longer. Instead of spikes on his back like Sonic, he has almost hair-like skin draping down from his head in a dreadlock fashion. His hands look like they are wearing gloves, with 2 spikes at the end of each glove. I'm Knuckles, last of the Echidna, and guardian of the Chaos Emerald. My pal, Robotnik, told me how you guys were planning to put the snatch on the jewel. We don't take kindly to trespassers on the floating island, but we hate would-be thieves even worse. End of part 1.
Man, he's going to have quite the arc where he falls in love with a thief.
Yep, exactly, 1,000%. But that's pre.
Yeah, that's 100,000 issues from now. I like how you ended up taking Knuckles' voice towards the end. That's a good place to end it.
Wait, is the thief Rouge the Bat?
Yeah.
Yes.
They become an item?
That's a game thing, but possibly a future comic thing. But yes, that is the general gist of where.
I always felt like it was just a lot of sexual tension.
Also, that
really needs to be released.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've seen it released many times.
Okay. So, for the record, for the voice of Knuckles, I was planning on doing like an Idris Elba, and like doing like a. Let me test that out right now.
Yes, do it.
I'm Knuckles, last of the Echidna, and a guardian of the Chaos Emerald. My pal Robotnik told me how you guys are planning to put the snatch on the jewel. Should I keep that?
Yes.
No.
I think 100%.
All right, so
You keep that.
he's gonna be British.
That's fine.
Okay.
You can't just like unleash this thing of beauty to the world and then rob everyone of it.
Every single time we hear Knuckles' voice and it's not that, people are gonna be like, "Where's Knuckles?"
Got it. Okay, you got it. All right, we're doing this now.
Where's-
It's gonna get degeneratively worse.
for
It's like,
sure.
it goes from like Idris Elba cool to like as it goes on, just like the most like degenerate 60-year-old Liverpool dude. Like totally took part in those riots recently. just like dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Is there anything we want to talk about in the first?
I mean,
part
do
here?
we want to talk about it now, or do we want to just
crazy-
talk about it as a whole?
So much hype.
I
A
feel
lot
like-
of hype.
All right, I'll say this. So this issue came out in August of '94, I believe.
Yes.
I looked this up.
Release date June of '94, but yes, publication date August of 1994.
All right, so Sonic 3 comes out
The game,
in
yeah.
February of '94.
Ooh, okay.
In America, it came out in May. In Japan, I found out this, which is crazy. You wouldn't think that.
That is weird.
It's reversed now.
In reverse. So people are going hype for Knuckles. Knuckles fever.
Going gaga for
Knuckles fever is sweeping the nation.
Yeah.
Right now, people demand.
people demand Knuckles.
The people demand.
I mean, so much
The
so
people's in Kingdom.
they make the expansion. They demanded it so much.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we need more. Not only do we need Knuckles in this game, we need him in all past games. An impossible ask, and Sega rose to the challenge and met them.
Just like love them.
That's great. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is all okay. Well, we can keep talking.
I feel like maybe we need
let's
to talk
finish
about
it. Let's finish it. Yeah, let's talk about it as a whole. Let's finish
I just like how this is the one issue that I've truly never read before because of time. And it's like one of the most important characters introduction.
Yep.
What a time for me. This is also the first appearance of Tails in a plane in the comics.
I have this as a note too,
Yes.
and well, we can talk about it since we're here.
Oh, actually, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I know what you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about that star.
I was gonna. We all have different things we want to talk about.
we
this
do.
Panel,
You first.
All right. Well, if we're talking about the plane,
Yes.
the plane, yes, because this is basically the intro of Sonic 3.
Yep.
Right. And that is how the game starts off. Sonic is hanging out on the biplane of Tails flying. I guess it's just implied that Tails has a plane in the games. No one's really questioned it, but
No one questions it here either.
But the introduction of it is curious here because it hasn't, because Tails has much more established character to him, right?
And not only that, like Tails hasn't like shown any
Exactly.
like
Technological prowess, right?
or even just like not even tech, just like he's not a driver. He's 4 years old.
Right.
And can't stress that.
He's been the kid of this resistance movement. Yeah.
So the games draw that out, right? Like as time and games advance, as they Sonic advance, they develop more of this like mechanically inclined nature of Tails, right? He's like becomes like the inventor, right? But doing that in these comics makes Rotor completely irrelevant.
Yep.
Because that is his character trait, I guess. And so it's curious, like, if they stick with that, because then what does Rotor do besides bash in some heads with hammer?
Again, why did they change his name from Rotor to Boomer? Explosives dude would have been a better trade.
Yeah, everyone needs a demo guy.
Yeah. 100%, 1000%.
Or Hammer Guy.
Hammer, he can, double duty.
Yeah.
Unless they get like a hammerhead shark buddy or
Well,
something.
maybe.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Don't give me dreams.
Don't give me dreams. The thing I want to talk about here, which I think is really weird, is that this floating island, has like a sewer system.
That was my thing.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's funny.
At first,
You're right.
I thought it was like waterfalls. That's cool. That's a cool imagery. No, it's a sewer. That's clearly a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
didn't need that there. Why?
It's such a weird design choice.
And one, it just looks weird, and two, well, that implies like a very industrialized society.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's more advanced.
I mean, that's just draining waste, right?
Like what Knuckles thinks of this world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts. The going back to the plane though, the wing of that plane, or the tail of that plane has a like the symbol of like the World War I air service.
that's
the
the
U.S.
Army
Air Service.
That is the Army
U.S.
Air
Army Air Service.
before it was the separate
before the Air Force was established, right?
In the 50s, yeah.
Yeah, and
Or
so
40s, whatever, late 40s, yeah.
So what's up with that?
So
Yeah, it's just weird, huh?
so there was already an established design in the games, which is quite different.
Oh yeah, it's like red.
But I think it's from that mentality of you guys remember the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Known as a disaster, and it's like you have all of this lore and aesthetic to build off of, but you kind of just choose to do your own thing and only lightly get inspired by it, right? It's kind of like that, where back then it's like, we need to adapt this. We can't do a one for one. It needs to, we need to Americanize it more and make it more palatable to either American audiences or just more mainstream non-video game audiences for whatever reason. And it's kind of that mentality where it's like, yeah, it's mostly the same. It's even the same introduction as the game. But let's throw in an Army Air, U.S. Army Air Service symbol, so that's more palatable to American design choices.
But then that implies that there is an America?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
they've also implied there's a Mexico.
Oh, that's true.
they name drop Mexico.
They do
like
name
issue
drop
2 or
Mexico.
something.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a problem. One, they keep on making Sonic, like, I'm not going to say smart, but like they keep on making him kind of do smart things, which annoys me in the sense that he's like theorizing and stuff. An example of this is specifically in this one, where he's just like, I wonder why this island is floating. Oh, probably a Chaos Emerald. It just seems like a perfect opportunity for Tails to start like doing something.
Yeah.
Instead, but like they keep on making Sonic do all these like.
Sonic should be a dummy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
There should be compensation for, because I mentioned
Because
this
it's
before.
the point of a team.
Yeah. That, and also speedsters generally have some kind of downside because they are massively overpowered. So they need something to offset it, usually personality wise. And usually speedsters, the trope is that speedsters are too excitable, too foolish, too headstrong,
Right.
and run into too many problems.
Well,
when
they just react and they go.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
They have one setting and it's go. They don't plan things out or have time to even stop and think. But the other issue, I guess we're just talking about this. The whole thing, and I think this is established in Sonic 3, like right off the bat, is this island is powered by the Master Emerald.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is.
We don't know yet.
I don't think they introduced the concept of the Master Emerald until Sonic Adventure.
Sounds like you might be getting some corrections.
We'll find out. We don't know yet.
From me. right now.
Well, send an email. Oh, we're doing this. We can't let this go.
Keep on talking.
I did look up the all right. So the establishing animation of Sonic 3 is I don't think I quite realized this as a kid. It's like the immediate follow-up of Sonic 2, right? And so at the end of Sonic 2, you're on the egg carrier and it crashes, right? And what happens is the egg carrier crashes into the island. What's the name? Angel Island? It crashes into Angel Island. And Robotnik, his goal is to, steal the Master Emerald to power the ship, right? And what Sonic and Tails are doing, they're flying after to, I don't know, I guess confirm casualties? I don't know.
Yeah, let's just assume that.
Right. But he jumps off the plane and is a supersonic, right? Because he has all the Chaos Emeralds from the end of Sonic 2. Zooming across the ocean and goes into the island and runs into Knuckles, who knocks him out and knocks out all the Chaos Emeralds and then picks him up.
Yep.
Right? And so you're right, there wasn't an establishing shot of a Master Emerald, at least in that intro, but everything I read said it was.
I just, very quickly reading, it looks like it was in the instruction manual for Sonic 3.
Okay, well then that kind of explains things, because it doesn't feel like they were given a lot to go on. Like they got like the basic gist of it.
Yep.
But they didn't. The specifics weren't laid out for these guys.
That seems to be a recurring thing we're noticing.
Right.
The Japanese source material and the American adaptation of it.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, I think this is what happened, and then they just kind of go with it.
And then this comic continues for literal decades, and they're so far off by the 2010s.
I mean, by 98.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well then I guess that is probably what the explanation for that is. I'll say him saying that he's going to unroll the welcome mat and then he shoots a fist missile. Has an uncle.
Funny.
That's
pretty good.
Yep.
I like that.
I just really like all the point of view shots of Knuckles holding his fist up.
Yeah, him holding his fist, like he's yelling at clouds.
The thumbs down, like you said earlier, is really funny.
I legitimately really like that angle. It's probably something you don't really ever get to do again, because how often are you gonna have like a surprise? I don't even know if it's a surprise reveal, because on the cover
everyone knew he's coming.
But like, I like that they keep on trying to tease it out.
It's funny too that they introduced that like the little like shield flash.
Yeah,
because that always seemed to be such an inconsequential part of Sonic to me.
The bubble thing?
Yeah, so when you play Sonic 3, I guess it must have been introduced in Sonic 3.
It was.
If you double tap A, you jump, and then you press it, it like flashes. And apparently it's, I guess, supposed to be some sort of like shield.
Is it? Is it like a counter?
I think so, but the timing window is so short and so precise that I never found it to be useful at all.
I never knew that it had a gameplay mechanic. I always just thought it was a thing you can just do.
Like a cool, like just for the sake of cool.
You think he's like showing off?
Yeah.
That's very Sonic.
Yeah, that is very true for him. But
if it's like a parry, that'd be really badass.
I think this I might be wrong, because I never did it. But I think the idea was, but I always just thought it was because it was like impossible to pull off.
Is Sonic 3 the Dark Souls of the series, where you can just parry shit?
It's probably what is that? Sonic 3D.
3D Blast.
Sonic,
Doesn't Sonic have a sword in one of them? Isn't he a knight?
Sonic and the Black Knight. I think
that's way later though.
That sounds like the Dark Souls one.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
All right,
damn.
Let's go to part 2.
This Island Hedgehog, part 2. We open on Robotnik, watching Knuckles interrogate Sonic and Tails on a monitor from far away. Their plan? To steal the Chaos Emerald, which we have confirmed is keeping the island afloat, and use its energy to recharge his crippled hovercraft. Robotnik is watching in glee, while Knuckles interrogates Sonic and Tails. Knuckles decides that he's going to give Sonic and Tails a chance to get off this island alive. If they don't leave within 10 minutes, they'll receive a Knuckles sandwich.
Yes.
Sonic and Tails leave, with Sonic stating that he needs to prove their innocence in 10 minutes. Robotnik calls Knuckles angry at the fact that Knuckles let them go. I guess they did it, right? Yeah. Robotnik realizes that he needs to move fast. He gathers the Chaos Emerald from SWATbot XL5 and Crab Meat. We cut to Tails and Sonic, looking for the Chaos Emerald on the island. Knuckles watches from the distance and realizes where they are going. He takes a shortcut and finds that the emerald is already missing by the time he gets there. Sonic and Tails show up, proving their innocence since Knuckles knew where they were the whole time. Realizing he's been duped, Knuckles demands Sonic and Tails take him to Robotnik. We cut to Robotnik in his hovercraft, getting ready to put the Chaos Emerald into the hovercraft. When suddenly, the Chaos Emerald disappears out of his hand. Robotnik looks around and sees Sonic and Knuckles standing by the exit of the hovercraft. Robotnik sends a swarm of SWAT bots at them, and Knuckles and Sonic swiftly take care of them. They look around. Robotnik is missing. Suddenly, the hovercraft starts moving. Instead of simply walking to the driver's seat of the plane and taking care of Robotnik, Sonic and Knuckles and Tails jump out of the hovercraft. Robotnik hovers off into the sunset. Sonic quickly repairs the plane that was broken down, with Sonic and Tails flying off into the sunset. Is Knuckles friend or foe? Sonic and Tails would like to know. Check out upcoming issues for further details. End of part 2.
Even they don't know.
Now, according to Patrick Spaziante,
I forgot about that. Okay.
Knuckles' lines in this story were initially spoken with a Jamaican accent, similarly to how his game counterpart was also originally planned to have such an accent. At the last moment, however, Scott Fulop edited the accent out by request of Sega and Archie Comics.
The right move.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, we do have a message from Ken Penders, one of the writers.
He wrote into this podcast.
No, he wrote into this comic, into this issue, into the own issue he was writing. No,
I went to his official website on the Wayback Machine to pull this up, and let me tell you, that website was so hard to read because it was like old HTML and
all the frames are messed up.
Well, no, it was such a busy background.
Oh, sure.
So I just had to like highlight everything so I could just read it. It was so annoying.
Wait, so where did this come from then? Ken Penders? From his old website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. From Ken Penders. My partner Mike Kintertovich and I had just been given the go-ahead to develop a story introducing the new character featured on the Sonic 3 game cartridge, Knuckles the Echidna. Naturally, our first decision regarding how we were going to write the new character was a no-brainer. Knuckles may have been indigenous to the Australian wildback, and he may have the dreadlocks to do any Rastafarian proud, but he was most likely a Desi, Dem and Doze, Brooklyn kind of guy. Oh, like the accent, like them guys or those guys over there. Brooklyn kind of guy, which is exactly how we wrote him in our original script. Wow, so his lines would have been.
Oh, that's why he says mugs. Yeah,
yeah, because I was gonna read it like that. Hedgehog's one palooka that will keep you running.
Yeah.
But it actually, according to Ken, it should have been that Hedgehog's one palooka that will keep you running. I had this funny feeling that I haven't seen the last of those mugs. So
you know what? It actually makes more. It works better.
It kind of does, yeah. In the writing, at least.
In the writing.
I don't know if it would have worked long term. Anyway, so we're back to Ken here. The decision was made all the more poignant when, while starting to construct the actual script, we learned the passing of Jack Kirby, who was not only one of the greatest comic book creators ever, but also one of the seminal influences upon both Mike and myself. Without hesitation, we both agreed to dedicate this particular story in memory of Jack. The main reason this particular story came into existence is that Sega wanted to promote its latest Sonic game cartridge, Sonic 3. That meant Mike and I had to incorporate elements from the game into the story, most of which are featured in Part 1. Part 2 was devoted to tying up all the loose ends and resolving the story on a somewhat upbeat note. One interesting side note, as this issue was going to press, Sega decided they wanted the Knuckles story replaced with something else, as they hadn't decided what they were going to do with the Echidna in the long term. Fortunately, editor Scott Fulop put the situation in the correct perspective. If Sega wanted so drastic a change made at the witching hour, they would have to bear the responsibility for the costs. Shortly afterwards, Mike and I offered up a sequel, as we were itching to do more with Knuckles, which was originally scheduled for Sonic number 20. Unfortunately, Sega nixed any of the sequels for a few months until they finally relented, giving us the go-ahead for the Sonic and Knuckles special. That's a quote, one long quote from his website.
Yep.
Ken Penders. What was the name of the old website? KenPenders.com.
It was
or something?
still KenPenders.com.
Yeah, something like
it's just
that.
you needed to go on the way back machine.
Wow.
Okay, so we heard your Idris Elba.
Yeah.
We heard your Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Now give us that Jamaican one.
Nope. Nope. I'm not Adrian Brodying that. I am not Saturday Night Live Adrian Brodying that.
Something I find incredibly interesting is this panel right here of the hovercraft is just an airplane. And then here's the hovercraft on the next page.
With
No propellers or anything.
Yeah, it's just a completely different...
Just a rocket ship.
Yeah. To me, I think it looks like the original was going to be like that flying fortress.
Yeah.
That's in... I think that's in Sonic 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the original design, and then they decided against it and went with this hovercraft. But this panel, they already drew, and they're like, it's good enough.
Right.
I do like how that rocket ship has like teeth. Like angry teeth.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the hovercraft looks like Robotnik's face.
It looks like
with
a
mohawk.
It looks like a Futurama thing.
I was just thinking
Right?
that, like the Planet Express.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see it.
1000% it does. Dude, Knuckles is so hype. Dude, Ken and Mike here, they must love Knuckles. They're really into Knuckles on this one. That's really cool.
I mean, that's their baby.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, everyone's Knuckles fever is sweeping
It's in their
the nation.
hands.
Yeah.
Their white gloved hands.
All right. What do we think about that? What do we think about Knuckles' debut?
It's so clear that it's like a promotional thing.
Yeah.
That it kind of sours me a little on it.
I can kind of see that. Like, so again, because I'm cold reading this. I didn't even watch the original one. When did Knuckles switch allegiances there? Like
In the video game?
Sorry. In this comic, in this issue.
So it
just kind of happens. Is there any build up to
so
it?
It's right here.
It's so what they again Sonic being smart.
Yeah.
He's like Knuckles gives him like 10 minutes. He's like before he hunts the most dangerous game and
Running game.
Yep.
and he's like you can scram. And but if I catch you again, I'm gonna beat you up.
I'm gonna
He lets
kill
them
you.
go. Okay.
Yeah, he lets him go, and then Sonic runs to where the Chaos Emerald, in this instance, was. I guess I don't know how he knew where it would be.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
but he goes to where it is, and Knuckles finds it's already gone, and he couldn't have been taken by them because he was just with them. Right, and so it obviously, and the whole time they were saying that Robotnik's the bad guy, not them.
Got it. Okay.
So that's how that
Classic Knuckles story.
Yeah. We're shown to be a little dumb.
Yeah, they do
Little
make
dim.
him
The little
the dim
dimmer.
one, right?
Yeah,
Becomes a
Because
character.
he's all
trait.
muscly.
yeah,
Got to compensate for something.
Can't have both.
yeah. You can't have.
Can't have it all.
Yeah, no. It's either
Can't have it all like Sonic.
your brain muscles strong or your body muscles strong. Can't
Right.
be both.
That's why I'm so frail.
Yeah, that's,
There you go.
yeah. Wind can knock you
My
over.
giant brain.
You're top heavy.
Yeah. When they're running out of that cave, Jack Kirby was Marvel, right?
Yes,
So
Yeah.
when it says Gotham City, that's not an allusion to him.
it's an allusion to Batman the TV series because this is
They're coming out of the Batcave.
they're coming out of the Batcave and there was a
Oh yeah.
This is Batman the TV show. Not
Oh,
the
so it's a
comic.
Batman TV show joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, so this is just they live in a world where the United States and both the Air Force exists and Batman in Gotham City.
It's clear. So, okay, at some
For
point...
reference, sorry, we didn't describe it for the podcast listeners. They're coming out of the cave, and there's the yellow barrier that comes down, and there's a sign that says to Gotham City, 14 miles away. Now go ahead, Dominic. Sorry.
At some point, do we just have to start dismissing some of this stuff I know I am dismissing it, but should we just dismiss it as like fourth wall jokes?
I mean,
visual fourth wall jokes.
I guess you have to, because there are so many. I mean, in the next panel, they do another one with the editor's note, which again, it feels like that should be something that Sonic says.
Yeah.
At some point, right?
Yeah, the editor's note is Robotnik is talking to Knuckles and says, do you want to say the line, Dominic?
Which one? Those two are jewel thieves, not freedom fighters like me.
That was Robotnik.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
One day on the island, and he's already trying to talk like the natives.
Hover over. Which one are you talking about?
Right here. No, you read the right line.
Just at the wrong voice.
Is saying it.
Those two are jewel thieves, not freedom fighters like me.
And then the editor's note is just liar, liar, mustache on fire.
Okay. Damn, by issue 50, I'm gonna have too many voices.
It's gonna be so good.
You're gonna start writing like whole dialogue, group dialogue. There's gonna be like a 12 Angry Men like scene in this fucking issue.
I can't wait for the courtroom episode where it's Sonic and crew like trying to figure out if someone's guilty or not.
Yeah.
and Tails won't budge. Not guilty.
So a joke that we didn't talk about in the last issue, in the last episode, is when Robotnik is discovered dancing with glee.
Yes.
That he sends Sonic back in time.
Yeah.
And his plan works. And Crab Meat, the crab robot, comes in, finds him, and Robotnik leaves no witnesses.
Yeah. Of course.
Right? He murders.
You do what you have to do.
Right. Is this another situation where there's just an endless supply of crab meat?
Yes.
And they're all called crab meat?
Yes.
Okay.
All with the same personality.
Yeah, honestly, the Eggman dying theory repeatedly
makes sense.
Makes actually a lot of sense, because that is literally how every other robot works.
Yeah. The only one that isn't like that is SwapBot, because it seems like each SwapBot is an individual with maybe its own personality.
Mm-hmm. They are the true faceless henchmen.
Yeah. But in terms like Caterkiller, Crab Meat, Buzz Bomber,
they're shown to be multiple Buzz Bombers on the screen at the same time.
You are correct, yes. But they all seem to have the same personality.
It's like a hive mind.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that.
At least that joke makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Jesus, yeah.
I meant to talk about this too in the previous one when there was a bunch of SWAT bots, but since we were talking about SWAT bots, have you guys talked that they're just straight up Cylons?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
we did. The very first issue.
Okay, you did. All right. Yeah. Then we don't need to go into it.
A lot of my very actual like honest gut thinking is people will come and just watch this issue because it's Knuckles' debut and they're not going to sit down and watch all of them. So
I thought you meant this issue of the podcast with me on it.
Yeah, my issue with you. Let's get into it. Your questions aren't good. So what do you have to say about Cylons?
I don't. I just wanted to point out. But you guys have talked about it. I don't need to elaborate the point. I just thought that I didn't remember that.
We should have a Battlestar Galactica podcast within this podcast, so that at the end of every episode, we're just like talking about the new episodes. Because I do really want to talk about the 2000s Battlestar Galactica at some point.
I've never seen any Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, after we finish all 500 episodes of this show, we'll do that show.
Okay, sure.
So in about 15 years or so.
We
should do that.
The name.
You should do that, and then have it like a group discussion.
But one of them is a
Cylon. And you have to figure it out by the end of it.
I love that.
What do we got here? Oh, I think I think I'm done with it. There's not, like I said, it's just like a promotional piece for the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's whatever. Like I honestly I get why they did what they did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of wish it was different.
I do too. Again, Sonic knowing how to do everything, he rebuilds the plane.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like, come on. Like, Sonic literally does everything. It's kind of obnoxious.
It's Superman.
They should call Boomer or Rotor and be like, "Yo, my plane's fixed. Broken. Come here and help me out or something." He just appears.
Well, in the future, Tails would fix it, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's the whole
but
thing.
as of now, Tails doesn't know how to do it.
Right. Yeah,
So, but he knows how to fly it, apparently. All right. Oh, we never talked about my cat rant.
No, that was pretty yeah.
The premise is very good.
Yeah. So I didn't go deep into the premise. The premise is it was an eccentric millionaire who dies and leaves everything to the cat. So the cat has like millions of dollars and owns the baseball team. And I guess like they have to. I don't understand the premise because I didn't watch the movie. But for some reason, the cat owns the baseball team. The poster of this movie, I should bring it up.
Yeah, show me.
What did I say the name was?
The name was.
What was that background?
We found an extension for Google,
Yeah.
which just puts in a new wallpaper of Sonic every single time. So me and Dominic share this Google account.
Okay.
So we made it so whenever we boot up the web browser, a new image of Sonic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, the one that you specifically had that caught me by surprise was Sonic beating up Mario in a judo.
That was from the Olympics.
From Mario and the Olympics.
Yeah, I know what it was from, but it was funny that.
Rhubarb, as in rhubarb pie, 1951. So rhubarb movie 1951. RHUBARB.
That is
Oh
a
my
good.
God.
I love that poster. I want to hang that in my house.
Yeah, this poster. So the image is there's a cat sitting on top of a pile of money. It looks like something happened to the cat and he's missing an eye. And
Or he's just winking. But
I think he's supposed to be winking, but it does. Yeah, I could see where
the
you're
cat
saying
has like a gold necklace, like a gold chain on his neck, and he's holding a baseball. Or resting his paw on a baseball. I made this my Steam profile pic because I loved it so much.
that. Well, now I can't hang it in my house.
Also, I don't know how or the context, but the mafia is involved in this movie too.
well, of course. Yeah.
So, gold stars all around.
He's raking it in. This
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
This was a bomb, right?
I mean, clearly, like, I think that given the nature of baseball right now, there's usually like maybe 4 teams that are good, and then varying degrees of badness down to ineptitude.
Sure.
For the management of certain clubs. Some are like historically bad, like the Cincinnati Reds and the Colorado Rockies and stuff like that. I like this cat comes in and presumably just like fixes the team and is way better and smarter than these fail-son billionaires.
100%.
all right, we need to watch this movie.
Yes, actually.
Fun fact, because you mentioned Our Miss Brooks, the TV show. My very first stage play in high school was Our Miss Brooks, the original play before they made it a TV show.
I didn't even know that was a play.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, it was technically a radio series first, and then they adapted it for TV.
Interesting.
But I did the least known version, which is the stage play.
One no one cares about.
Yeah, I was Stanley, one of the students, and at some point, Our Miss Brooks dumps a bunch of laundry detergent on top of me as like a joke while I'm trying to inflate a bike tire or something. Or no, I was like trying to. Anyway, it's immortalized in the halls of my high school because that shot was very dynamic. And yeah, that was my first stage play ever.
That is very funny.
Some new Dominic lore being dropped.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I love it.
That's great.
You know what also I love? This next issue of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Space in Your Face, Part 1. Script by Angelo De Cesare and penciled by Art Mahwini. We open with Sonic, Tails, Bunny, and Antoine. Antoine is posing on a stump, while Sonic is using his spin dash to carve Antoine a statue out of a tree. Just as Sonic is finishing up, he hears someone scream, "Sonic, stop!" Sonic slips and accidentally chops off the head of Antoine's statue. An improvement, to say the least. Rotor has just come back from a reconnaissance mission outside of Robotropolis. Robotnik is building an orbiting space weapon called Robo-Storm, which can fire a series of power rays at our planet and roboticize any living being within a 100-mile radius of the beam. Sonic instantly wants to hop into action. Luckily, Sally has a plan. All they have to do is get past a team of SWAT bots. Later, just outside of Robotropolis, Sonic and the Freedom Fighters are on a cliff staring at Robotnik's egg-faced ship that is being guarded by SWAT bots. Sonic leaps into action, fighting and distracting all the SWAT bots long enough for the Freedom Fighters to sneak into Robo-Storm, the spaceship. Sonic rushes into the ship, and the Freedom Fighters start sabotaging Robo-Storm. Just then, Robotnik starts walking up with Snively. Snively points out that the SWAT bots are missing. Robotnik, realizing that someone is inside the spaceship, starts rushing towards the entrance. As he's running to the entrance door slams shut, and the spaceship starts taking off. The Freedom Fighters are in outer space, looking at the reddish hue of space surrounded by the 100 moons of Mobius. The Freedom Fighters are in awe. Just then, Robotnik and Snively show up in their backup spaceship and zap the energy from Robo-Storm. Robotnik appears on the giant screen in the center of Robo-Storm with this ultimatum. I'll either tow you back to Mobius and roboticize you, or I'll leave you to drift in space forever. Hee hee ha 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 ha.
That's verbatim. I made sure to copy it.
Thank you. Which isn't really an ultimatum, more just Robotnik thinking out loud, trying to decide his course of action. End of part 1.
I mean, it's no longer. I know I said this earlier, but I officially don't think we're on Earth because 100 moons.
Also, space is
Right.
red.
Yeah. I don't know where we are.
It looks cool.
It does actually look really cool.
I wish space looked like that.
Yeah, I'd go up there all the time if
Yeah,
it did.
it was constantly.
I like the idea of 100 moons. I think that's fucking cool. How come we haven't seen these moons before?
That's pretty insane, though, because, like, wouldn't they start crashing into each other at some point?
I mean, obviously they found an equilibrium.
Yeah, I guess so. You're right. Yeah.
It'll work out.
How big is Mobius, then? Because that has to be a huge orbit.
Well, yeah, and all these planets look decently sized.
It's yeah.
Or moons, I should be saying.
Mm-hmm. That's nuts. Wow.
I would like to point out that the spin dash can literally just do anything.
Yep.
Since he can just carve a statue with the spin dash. Are you sure Tails says the joke?
Yeah. Oh, it's right here. It's right
circuits.
here. So Tails says the circuits. Oh boy, where are the clowns? And Antoine here puts him down immediately, calling him a clown.
Yeah, Antoine is a piece of shit.
I like this one actually. That was a good burn. Good, like what repartee?
Sure.
Is that the right
Until
usage
you remember
and
that
the way
Tails
to say that?
is a 4-year-old fox, and Antoine is putting him down.
Just imagine, like, an anxiety-ridden 4-year-old who's, like, trying to make a funny because all of his older friends are making funnies, and it's like, the circuits. Oh boy, where are the clouds? Shut the fuck up.
Right. And that's like his only frame of reference to make joking like the circus. Because that's all he knows. Yeah.
I still like this show. No.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I guess in that context, he is a jerk for putting him down. No one stands up for him.
No.
Well, that's the underlying problem.
Yeah, pretty toxic relationships all around.
Yes, we've talked about this before.
Specifically about Tails.
Yeah, why is this child part of this militant resistance group? And 2, like, he's just their punching bag, as we've said before. He's just their punching bag through and through. So far, in the comics at least, just in the comics, he's done really nothing.
He made a seesaw.
He made a seesaw. He did have, like, one comic where he did something heroic, but the whole point of that story was just to emphasize, was just to have him, like, his moment.
I mean, if you're going to have a child soldier, you have to drill that sort of bullshit out. The seesaw? What are we doing? No.
Yeah.
You gotta,
you gotta beat
you gotta put together an AR-15 in like 8 seconds.
blindfolded.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do we do? Which would explain what Tails becomes later.
Right.
What are you implying? He becomes a school shooter? What the fuck?
Can these school shooters put together an AR-15
Probably not.
blindfolded?
Probably not.
I mean, if he's going to be hard-nosed child soldier, you got to go put him through the school of hard knocks, right? and that's what Antoine's doing here.
Okay, I'm turning around.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand Antoine.
Right. This is a
And as the
long-term
military
goal here.
leader, he's the one that's got to do it.
A lot of rocket chips.
There's
here.
the running gag here of it wasn't in the script, but Robotnik not being able to look when his visage is blasted is funny.
Yeah.
I like that. He's like, he can't bear to witness getting his own likeness to be destroyed. I think that's a good character trait.
Yeah. An evil mega
Characterization, I guess.
Yeah. Space in Your Face, Part 2. Sonic realizes that there's still some auxiliary power left on the ship. Not enough to fly home, but enough to land on one of the moons. They fly to the nearest moon. The gravity of the moon speeds up the ship, and they do not have enough energy to slow down. The freedom fighters brace for impact. Splat! Sorry. I was so into splat that it just fucked me up. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Splat! The Robo-Storm crash-landed on a mud planet. This is the legendary moon known as Muckury. The entire surface is covered with a thick layer of muck. The air is too thin to breathe for any length of time. Robotnik lands their ship next to the crashed Robo-Storm. The ship that Robotnik brought turns out to be a transformer. He transforms the ship into a giant Voltron-esque machine that's hundreds of feet tall and starts kicking the Robo-Storm around like a soccer ball. Unfortunately for Robotnik, the freedom fighters snuck out right before Robo-Storm was kicked. Instead of trying to squash the freedom fighters in the 100-foot mech he has, he rules
What am I to...
RULS. He rolls
out.
He rolls out in what we'll call a moon tank. A tank-like vehicle with a glass dome and a laser on top of the dome. The freedom fighters are panicking. They are running out of air. They have no way home, and Robotnik is about to run them over. Just then, Sonic has an idea. He creates a giant statue of Robotnik out of the mud on the planet. Robotnik is beside himself. He cannot pass up an opportunity to gaze upon something as glorious as himself. Unfortunately for him, the statue is made of mud and not very stable. The mud statue falls on Robotnik and Snively, burying them alive. The freedom fighters steal Robotnik's ship and fly back to Mobius, abandoning the inventor and his loyal henchmen on this mud planet.
Nick, were you Were you hooting and hollering when the Transformer appeared?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yes, this is good stuff here.
Ultraman-looking shit right here.
Well, okay, first of all, like, Robotnik's dead, right? He can't get off this planet.
That's right.
So I'm leaning hard in the multiple Robotnik theory.
I think it's more or less proven at this point.
What about Snively? Maybe same thing?
It must be a robot, yeah.
Well, no, he's got his feet.
He looks human.
He looks human enough, and he's got his feet stuck in the mud, so he can theoretically get out.
Well, no, because they can't get off the planet.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, them knowing the name of Muckury, they knew it was a mud planet. So that implies that Mobius at one point in time had a space program and that they could go out in outer space.
Not necessarily.
How would they know that the planet was made out of mud?
I mean, we know that Jupiter is made of gas, and we don't
know.
I think we do.
Yeah, we do.
We have to land a spaceship on Jupiter.
Until I see it with my own eyes.
Okay.
The gas giant of Jupiter.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
giant.
okay. at the very least, an advanced space program.
Okay, I concede that, I guess, but yeah.
I mean, that's not far out of reach for this very advanced world. Granted, it's Robotnik.
I was going to say, is it?
Maybe he's got probes. You don't know that.
No, I meant more like, I don't know how advanced it was before Robotnik took over.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, maybe the Kingdom of Acorn had its own space program.
Okay. This was just something I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out.
When the robot, the mech, whatever, the giant robot, the transformer is what I should have called it originally. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because the freedom fighters ran out of the ship. Mm-hmm. I think it's funny that he kicks the ship.
Oh, yeah.
But he should have just stomped it into the
ground.
mud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's what should have happened.
Yeah. But, I mean...
But punting it
is funnier.
Is good.
Yeah. Because it just implies, like, I want to torture these guys.
Yeah. Rattle them around.
I'm super into it.
Yeah. Something I noticed when you're scrolling, can you go up a little bit more to the even more where the right here this like zoomed in photo of Rotor here. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how much of his like cheeks look like an ass cheeks holding a piece of coal.
Rotor's face straight up looks like ass with like a little nugget of like black turd coming out.
I wasn't gonna say turd, but it was like a black like piece of
like
coal or like a pimento or could be any of those. But man,
yeah,
like right,
it's gross.
Yeah,
it's hairy too.
I'm glad I brought it to your attention.
Poor guy's got nothing left.
That's going to play well for the audio podcast.
Well, no, I think butt cheeks with a butt plug in it is...
This is how you drive people to the YouTube channel.
If you guys want to see Rotor with a butt plug.
No. Rotor's face, which looks like a butt plug. Oh my God.
Don't say...
Oh my God.
Don't bring your fan fiction.
This is a children's comic.
Oh, yeah.
But he's
sure
rad.
Is.
But he's rad because he's got a backwards baseball cap.
I think that... so I brought it before that like I thought it was a good plot point, the whole running bit, and so the conclusion of this arc, like I honestly was surprised that they brought back the statue making that they were doing with.
I like that.
They were actually pretty good about doing a full circle.
Yeah, they like wrapped it up pretty well, and I was like I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
and I nor did Robotnik, and it was good. It was good how they wrapped it up.
Yeah,
I like that.
I agree.
They have a lot of just one-off things, but every now and then they will come full circle with something that's like, that's really damn clever. Probably giving them too much credit, but by the standards of the issue so far, it's like, hell yeah, that's good. It's not random.
You know what I'm going to say is I think these past two issues are probably like the best issues so far.
I think so. Oh, they're finding their footing.
Yeah. It's starting to feel more like a comic instead of like random things that are happening.
Yeah, I can excuse those because those first 10 are just really like, they don't even know what they're doing. It's really just product tie-in to just go along with the games coming out. But this, they're building like a really coherent world now.
I think by issue 20, they'll probably have like something down and it's going to become more of a real comic.
These
episodes are going to get probably way longer.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, if I'm going to be here for him. No, as I said, like I didn't care so much for the Knuckles thing, but these two issues that I've read were legitimately pretty good. There's like some funny jokes in there peppered throughout. Like I like it.
Yeah.
Crazy scenarios.
Crazy scenarios indeed.
Are we going to do sonograms?
I think so.
Okay. Can you hand me the guitar?
Yep.
Now it's time for sonograms. You can write to sonograms. Oh yeah, it's a legally distinct sonograms. It's an unaffiliated sonograms. We made our own sonograms.
All right, these questions. What is your favorite storyline so far?
Who's this from?
Thank you. This is from Sean P.
Favorite storyline so far? Oh, jeez. Well, I guess Mike of the. Well, no, you've heard.
He's listened to him.
I listened to, but I mean, I don't even quite remember
Yeah.
them. Let's see. So this one was the space one. What was the last episode? What did we
Issue, yeah.
What was the last issue? They did the
Chainsaw time travel.
Oh, Chainsaw Time Travel. I mean, it's a toss up. I think both were pretty good. I think maybe last issue was a little bit better, but not by not by any noticeable difference. And maybe my opinion would change rereading them again. But I like both. They were both pretty good.
My favorite issue so far is the bad Sonic guy.
Of course.
Oh yes,
Yeah. With did this episode air yet?
Probably.
I think I saw this. Yeah, or
Okay.
read this.
I
I remember looking up this guy.
Okay. Yeah. So the issue where Sonic ends up in the parallel universe with an evil Sonic with like a leather jacket and sunglasses is definitely by far my favorite storyline so far.
If it's a parallel, is it like a Bizarro planet?
Yes.
So then wouldn't Sonic be lame?
No. Because our Sonic is canonically lame.
No, Sonic is way past cool. We've established this.
I get what you're saying. The framing for this Sonic is he's evil. So it went more in that direction than it did cool.
Yeah, so Sonic is always cool. It's just whether or
Sonic
not
can never be not cool.
Yeah, it's just whether or not he's good or evil.
Okay.
That's a staple character trait that cannot be messed with.
Yeah,
through the laws of time and universes. Yeah.
No matter
Sega would
where
never
you
allow
are,
this.
They're cool. But then you get the evil freedom fighters, which I love too.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And then Robotnik the veterinarian.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dominic, what's your
So tough. It's so tough.
Oh, maybe this was issue 11.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe I didn't read this then. I feel like I saw this guy though.
you might have looked him up. Do you remember the chili?
No.
Okay.
No.
You would remember that.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't see this one. Well, something to look forward to tomorrow.
Listen to that on your plane ride home.
Yeah. What about you, Dominic? Do you have a favorite?
It's really tough. This NURBS one's really good. Just because it's a whole different society.
Oh, yeah. This one I did see. Yeah. NURBS. Oh, I didn't see that frame, though. The Ninja Turtles in the background.
Yeah, so this is when he just like decides to just jump up through the ground. Like I said earlier, like it's been established he does this.
That's just the thing he does.
But it wasn't really established beforehand, so really it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Your
You are
critique is still
correct.
valid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, going back to that conversation, sometimes like Wonder Woman would fly even though she has like an invisible jet.
Yep.
You know, like it was
It's
so
more like, are they
weird.
flying or are they jumping really far? What's going on?
Yeah.
I like how you're just going through all of them. I appreciate
Well,
it.
I mean, you need a reminder. Clearly,
I really do. No, you know what? No.
reminisce.
Pseudo Sonic with the swollen Sonic.
Swollen Sonic.
Swollen Sonic was
Issue
funny.
Swollen
9.
Sonic is actually. This was the first time I legitimately laughed out loud at this comic. I was
is-
like, "This is actually really funny."
That is a very funny.
As a visual medium, this comic really hits it for me.
Why didn't you make this your Steam profile picture?
Too obvious, man.
Yep, this is my answer.
Okay,
All right, so we go. Yeah, we got an
there you
answer
go,
to that.
Sean P.
What about the last one?
Last question. Least favorite character so far.
Least favorite.
I'm gonna say like of the main.
I mean, there's only like 8, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That being said, specifically in issue 9, the butterfly just really weirded me out.
It was a random like convenient character of convenience.
No, I just meant like in terms of how she looked.
Oh, okay.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you stretch it out past like one-offs, include like just one-off characters included. I mean, again, I've only read 2 of these comics, so I don't know if I have a good ear. Like maybe the Cyril, the eagle.
Oh yeah, he was pretty
He
lame.
was kind of dumb.
Snively hasn't really done anything yet.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he's just an assistant though. Like, he's
Yeah.
not. I don't think he's supposed to be interesting.
Of the main freedom fighters, it's not even a personal thing. It's more like just how they. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too.
Why does his hat have
It's
an
got a
R
B.
and then a B? What the fuck?
It's got a B.
No, yeah, this is back when he was Boomer.
No, but look in the previous panel. It's R.
Oh, was this when they like made the change?
No.
Yeah, right here. Hello, my name's Rotor.
Yeah. Well, that's just a mistake.
Yeah,
But anyway, of the characterization of all of these freedom fighters, I think the ones that have gotten the least amount of characterization is either between Rotor and Tails.
Yes.
Tails did get his own specific story where he's the hero, but he didn't really learn anything past that.
Yeah.
It was just like a hero moment, and that's it, and then he's the same. Rotor just was given nothing.
Well,
effectively.
Buns too was introduced, had like one issue, and then she's been kind of relegated to the back too.
Yeah,
right?
but at least they like did things with her in the one issue,
Yes,
while they haven't
correct.
really done anything with Rotor. Or
That's what I'm
Tails.
saying. And then Antoine should be and is the punching bag, the real punching bag.
Yeah.
And that's his role. As a role, that's he is fulfilling that very successfully. Sally too.
That's very clear in the cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I remembered.
Yeah.
From Saddam is that this French dude is just everyone's punching bag.
Yeah.
And then Sally, fulfills her role very sufficiently. So yeah, it really comes down to Tails and Rotor. I might even just have to say Rotor because they're implying so much with this character of what he's like, but they haven't really defined it all that well. Is he the tech guy? Kinda, but I guess Tails is kind of morphing into that as well.
Yeah.
So is he strong? Because he's implied to be bigger than everyone.
Yeah, he should be the strong guy if
Yeah.
he's gonna
But that might
continue to be part of this team.
But that might wind up being Knuckles at some point. We'll see.
Sure, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
I wonder how much Knuckles is actually part of the main crew.
Also, that's a very
Because
good point.
he has his own spin-off
you're
comics. So like it seems like it might be one of those things where he just like pops in and out every now and then.
He's like a Vegeta type character.
Yeah, but Vegeta becomes one of the main guys.
That's true. Vegeta, but stays on the sidelines.
Yeah.
It'd be like Daredevil to Spider-Man or something, where they're like
Something like that. I can see that.
crossovers,
Because he's red and Knuckles is red. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I saw what you were doing there.
Daredevil's funny to me because he's just a dude. Like Spider-Man protects all of New York, right? Like that's his jurisdiction, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas Daredevil just does Hell's Kitchen.
Well, because there's so much crime.
Hell's Kitchen is like, if you look at it on a map, is like 8 blocks.
Yeah, it's just like the west side, I think, of Manhattan.
Yeah, it's like just a small little square. And like this is where he hangs out.
Isn't Luke Cage also?
Well, he's Harlem, which is
he's-
upper.
Oh, he also is restricted to just a neighborhood?
Well, I don't know if it's just restricted, and I'm sure throughout the entire breadth of Marvel Comics, they go out throughout New York. So
Luke Cage actually makes more sense for just staying in an area because he doesn't have like mobility like Daredevil or Spider-Man.
yeah.
Because he has to take the subway if he's going to anywhere.
Yeah, Luke
There's a
Cage,
robbery. Give me
saying-
30 minutes.
Right, Luke Cage, you're saying. Yeah.
Luke Cage is
that's what
Harlem, and yeah, you're right. Daredevil is Hell's Kitchen. I guess. Well, no. Yeah, you're right. They had the subway. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, no. Because at least in the MCU, Spider-Man is Queens. Is he Queens throughout the whole breadth of the thing, or is it just New York overall? We'd have to.
I don't count MCU
Okay, fair enough. But I don't know what his thing is.
because he's just like an Avenger at like a certain point, right?
Yeah.
He's not even like in New York.
He's a later Avenger, yeah. And then
But yeah, it is very funny that he just covers like 2 blocks.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing here?
No crime today. Like there's a robbery across the street, but it's in the other boroughs.
Right,
so he's
yeah.
just
It's like, he can see it, but he can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, he sees it.
I wasn't making that joke, but that's right.
I think they can cross like neighborhood lines.
Superheroes get jealous pretty easily.
Oh boy.
They all have egos.
That's right.
And that's the issue. Only 462 left to go. There's a glare on the TV, so this is really hard. I'm Nick. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago at Blue Collar Jazz and my personal Twitter at Domguan1.
You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast. We also have a video version of the podcast if you're listening to the audio version, where we insert panels and you can follow along and watch our handsome faces and see Mike F. in person.
That's right. I'm Mike F. Don't follow me.
He hides for a reason.
In the shadows.
You can email him through us at Gotta Talk Fast if you have a message for him.
Yeah, serve as my intermediary.
You can write into the show and if you want to talk to Mike F.
I'll accept this arrangement.
What if Mike just starts having like a segment called like Mike's Corner or something?
I'm pretty into that.
Yeah, if you have separate questions, make sure to do attention, Mike, in the subject line of your Sonogram, and I'll make sure to answer them.
Yeah, we'll get them to him. To get to that email, you email us at sonicgrams@gottatalkfast.com, where you can ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion on this week's issue, or just ask Mike a question or two. And you can follow me on Twitter at TheMojosaurus. And remember, when life keeps going fast, you gotta talk fast and just get through it.
I love you.
Gotta talk, gotta talk.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast.